Shalom. Want to give all the praise and all the glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors goes up to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Alright, so Ecclesiastes 7:1 is where I'm going to start. And the reason why I was inspired to do this lesson was the very first verse. Alright? It says, a good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth. So, that's our job as the prophets to stand stiffly for the names. Because, it says a good name is better than precious ointment. It's better than, this is, why these people that are calling on these different names, they can't get it, man. You're over here defiling the names of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai. And, Solomon, who was the wisest man on the earth, he opened up the 7th chapter with a good name is better than precious ointment. So the name it's all about the name, man. You can't use any other names for salvation, all right? Aside from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Verse 2, it is better to go to a house of mourning than to go to a house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. Right, so who's in the house of mourning right now? It's the elect. The ones who understand, have faith, and believe in this truth. This is why we're mourning. We're in a time of mourning. We're in a time of war, almost. We're not in a time of mirth. We're not in a time of peace. We're not in a time of, not giving a fuck. No, we're in the time of mourning, and this is the time to teach and to get ready for the kingdom and to prepare, the sheep who are going to listen and hear, the elect, for the kingdom. Verse 3, sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance the heart is made better, and the heart is mind, all right? So when you suffer, when you go through sorrow, when you go through the fire, your mind is made better, all right? If you're of the elect, your mind is made better. There's some people they go through the trials and tribulations, and they start to curse, God. They say God, but they start to curse the truth. They become an atheist in their spirit, and it's because it's not for them, right? But the elect are going to be made better when we suffer. All right, that's that gold tried in the fire. Verse 4. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth, right? Like for instance, Saturday, a good example is Saturday, the men of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai will be out there on the street corners teaching, mourning, right? Crying out to our power. But you're going to also have on the other side, you're going to have the heathen and the 2/3. They're going to be all excited about the NFL playoffs or about some type of, maybe a basketball game. So some type of vain things is going to occupy their time. But the wise, what are we doing? We're those virgins preparing, gathering that oil, gathering that wisdom. We're those 5 virgins. Because then that parable, there's 5 foolish virgins and 5 wise virgins. And the men who are preparing and, we're putting our heart and mind into Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, while others are not preparing at all, right? They have other concerns. Their concerns are vain, useless things, right? So when the trouble comes, they're going to want our oil, they're going to want our wisdom, but it's going to befall them. They're not excuse me, they're not going to have the oil, they're not going to have wisdom, and they're going to have no stability, right? Verse 5. It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. Right. It's better to be rebuked by a wise person. And who's a wise person? Someone who understands this truth. Right. Let's get that in Ecclesiastes 8. Who is, verse 1, who is as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. Right. So who knows the interpretation? Because there's only one interpretation to this truth, contrary to what these heathen and these 2/3 they'll tell you. Oh, well, there's just depends how you interpret it, But we know there's only one interpretation. There's only one truth. It tells you in Peter there's no private interpretation. Right? Let's get that real quick. 1 Peter 1:20 it says. Oh, I'm sorry, I was in the wrong. 2 Peter. 2 Peter 2:20. Second Peter 1:20. Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation. Alright? So there's only one truth, one prophecy, or one interpretation to the prophecies. Alright? You can't listen to these people who say, oh, well, it just depends on how you break it down or how you interpret it. No, the truth is, the fact of the matter is there's only one truth. Alright, so let's get back to Ecclesiastes 7, and I'm at verse 6. For as the crackling of thorns under a pot, so is the laughter of a fool. This is also vanity, meaning it's useless. When fools laugh, it's useless. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Right, the oppression makes, if you're wise and you understand that we're being oppressed, that we're in captivity, this place starts to piss you off. But if you're a fool, you just think that this is the way it's supposed to be. You think that you're blessed because you have the ability to go to work at 9 to 5 and pay your bills. You literally believe that's blessing, which that's stupid. That's fool. That's the mindset of a good slave, is what I would tell you. But if you're in a different, the proper mindset, a godly mindset, right? A mindset of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you're focused on moving on from this place and entering into eternal glory and eternal dominion, right? A rulership mentality, not a slave mentality. A gift destroyeth the heart. Yeah, a lot of these people, like for instance, you'll have you'll have a single mother, right? She'll trust in the system. She'll trust in Esau Edom because Esau Edom gives her the food stamps, gives her the SNAP benefits, gives her Section 8 housing. So now all of a sudden she thinks the so-called white man is her everything, right? He provides her with food. He provides her with a place to stay. He provides her with child support. So those gifts, they destroy her. She thinks that's her God now. She doesn't, she doesn't understand the true power, which is Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, and that's just one example. 8. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Right, patient in the spirit means your spirit is built to endure, built to suffer. Better is the end of a thing. Yes, the end of America is going to be way better than the beginning of America, because we know that once Babylon goes down, we got next. This is our kingdom. Be not hasty in the spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools. Right. Yeah, we might appear to, when we defend the gospel, sometimes people think we're angry, but no, we're just passionate about the truth, Because I know for one, people have mistaken me that I'm angry or mad, but no, I'm not mad. I'm just passionate about defending the gospel. really, I don't really get mad too often, that's being honest, Verse 10, say thou not, or say, the only thing that makes us mad is being around all these abominations, and it's a vexation of your spirit, but we know how to control our spirits even if we do get mad. So let me say that. Let me put it like that. Say not thou, what is the cause of the former days were better than these? For thou dost not inquire wisely concerning this. So you don't want to look back and say, man, I remember things used to be better than this. Because that's just not a wise thing to say. We're dealing with the now, right? Now we're not dealing with the past. We're dealing with the now, and we're dealing with the future, right? Because, concerning prophecy, we consider the future. We're prudent men. See? Verse 11. Wisdom is good with an inheritance, and by it there is profit to them that see the sun. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. Right, wisdom is a defense, and how did wisdom defend us recently? You could use the example of the jab, of the vaccination. No brothers that we're aware of in GMS took that vaccination, and guess what? None of us had suffered no strokes, no blood clots, no